Of course, it's definitely something, in your mind, and I always think about I always hear my dad's voice in my mind, all the time, because it's always bone or blood, you know his motto, and you know his slang with everything. So, of course, I was definitely hearing his voice in the back of my head, but at the end of the day, I want to be productive, I want to give you guys the best work, and I want to be at my best at all times.
The son of a legend just made the most controversial decision in Brown's training camp, and it's about to shake up everything you thought you knew about Shedeur Sanders. While everyone's talking about his arm soreness sidelining him from Saturday's practice, nobody's discussing the bombshell revelation that happened right after he returned to the field Monday. According to Yahoo Sports, the fifth-round pick is back throwing touchdowns and making statements that have coaches and analysts completely divided. But here's the twist that'll blow your mind. Shedeur just told his Hall of Fame father to stay away from camp. And the reason why will change how you see this entire quarterback battle forever. Look, I've been covering the NFL for years, and I've never seen anything quite like this. We're dealing with a rookie quarterback who's basically telling prime time himself, the man who raised him, coached him, and turned him into a household name, to stay home while he fights for his NFL dreams. And when you hear the full story, you'll understand why this might be the smartest move Shedeur has ever made.
I think that's bare minimum for sure.
How excited?
I think anybody plays preseason almost.
How excited are you for that opportunity to kind of show out on that?
Yeah. I'm excited. I'll say overall, being able to be healthy, to come to practice today, and being able to go against the actual defense, and get live reps and everything. So I'm just thankful I prepare.
First, let's talk about what happened with that arm soreness situation, because this tells you everything about Shedeur's mindset right now. When most rookies would have tried to tough it out and potentially hurt themselves worse, Shedeur made the mature call to sit out Saturday's practice. And when reporters asked him about it, his response was pure class. Of course you debated in your mind, Shedeur admitted during Monday's press conference. I always hear my dad's voice in my mind all the time because it's always boom or blood. You know his motto. So of course I was definitely hearing his voice in the back of my head. But at the end of the day, I want to be productive. I want to give you guys the best work, and I want to be at my best at all times. This right here, this is what separates the guys who make it from the guys who don't. Shedeur could have listened to that Sanders family pride, that boom or blood mentality, and potentially set himself back weeks. Instead, he showed the kind of long-term thinking that NFL coaches absolutely love to see. But here's where it gets really interesting. The media tried to make it seem like this was some massive injury concern, even asking if he needed an MRI. Shedeur's response? The MRI for what? I hope I ain't breaking anything. Haven't you been told, buddy? Come on now. That confidence, that swagger, that's vintage Deion right there. But the decision-making? That's all Shedeur, and it's showing a level of maturity that has Browns coaches taking serious notice. But what's fascinating about this whole situation is how Shedeur is handling the pressure differently than anyone expected. When asked about where he's grown the most, his answer was telling. I would definitely say mentally. Even regardless if media have good ways or bad ways to come about me, I'm more mature in not making those same mistakes I made in college. This is huge, guys. Because let's be real, Shedeur Sanders came into the NFL with baggage. The name, the expectations, the social media presence, the whole Colorado circus. But what we're seeing in Cleveland is a completely different player. He's treating everyone with respect, he's handling criticism better, and he's focused on one thing, proving he belongs. I treat everybody with respect and with care, Shedeur explained. And whenever everybody gets over their own hate towards me for their own weird reason, then everything will be back good. That's where I grew the most, mentally. Now, some people might call that cocky, but I call it confident. There's a difference. Cocky is when you think you're better than you are. Confident is when you know your worth and aren't apologizing for it. And right now, Shedeur is showing the kind of quiet confidence that wins over locker rooms. According to recent reports from ESPN, this quarterback competition in Cleveland is legitimately wide open. We're talking about a four-way battle where every rep matters, every throw is being dissected, and every decision could determine someone's NFL future. But here's what's not being talked about enough. Shedeur is thriving in this environment. When asked about still being in the thick of this competition heading into Block 3 of training camp, his response was perfect. "I don't think not getting out the mix is even a thought in my mind in any room. I know I have the utmost standards for myself, and I know all I can do is go out there and do what I got to do every day." That's not arrogance talking. That's preparation meeting opportunity. And the fact that he's acknowledging his lack of experience while still maintaining that confidence, that's exactly what you want to see from a young quarterback. "I know I lack experience on this realm and on this level," Shedeur admitted. "But one thing I can hang my hat on is in all pressure situations, you know who I am." And that's the key right there. Pressure. Because if there's one thing Shedeur Sanders has dealt with his entire life, it's pressure. Growing up as Deion's son, playing at Colorado under the microscope, dealing with social media critics, this four-way quarterback battle might actually be the most normal pressure situation he's ever been in. But now we get to the moment that's going to define this entire story. During a recent interview on the Michael Irvin podcast, Deion Sanders mentioned wanting to come see his son practice with the Browns. Normal father-son stuff, right? Wrong. Shedeur's response was immediate and definitive. "Yeah, I told him don't come." When pressed on why, Shedeur's explanation revealed a level of strategic thinking that most rookies never develop. "I don't want him coming to see me right now because I want to get to where I want to go, then for him to see me. I don't want him to come and see me get a couple reps and he's cheering like a good dad like, nah, you can't be proud of me right now. I got to get to where I'm going." This is absolutely brilliant on multiple levels. First, Shedeur understands the media circus that would follow Deion Sanders showing up at Browns training camp. Every camera would be on the sideline instead of on the field. Every storyline would become about the father instead of the son's performance. "We know how everybody will take it and take away from the team just from him being my own dad showing up," Shedeur explained. "It's a gift and a curse at the same time. But the deeper reason is even more impressive. Shedeur is setting his own standards. He's not settling for his dad being proud of a few good throws in practice. He wants to earn that pride by actually making the team, by proving he belongs in the NFL on his own merit. That what's really impressive is how Shedeur is approaching every single rep. According to Browns beat writers, he's treating practice like games, understanding that every moment could be his last chance to impress. "I think every rep I get in general is valuable," Shedeur said. "Every rep, anytime I step on the field, I take it like it could be my last because you don't know. It's players that we was just practicing with last week that's not here no more. That awareness, that urgency, that's what separates guys who make rosters from guys who get cut. And it's showing up in his preparation too." When asked about going against the first-team defense, Shedeur's response showed he's not intimidated by anyone. "I don't care what O-line I go out there with. It could be ones, twos, threes, whatever the situation is. And I know Friday when the game is. If I'm with twos or I'm with threes, it don't matter to me." This is the mentality you want from your quarterback. No excuses, no complaints about not getting first-team reps. Just pure focus on maximizing every opportunity. Now, let's address the elephant in the room that's been weighing on this family: Deion's recent bladder cancer diagnosis. This is serious stuff, and it adds another layer to why Shedeur's decision to keep his father away from camp is so mature. When asked about how the family has been handling Deion's health situation, Shedeur's response showed incredible strength. "Dad, he's one person that he'll handle his. We handle what we got to do." It was something that we really ain't need to have no formal conversation about, because it was like, y'all need to focus on what y'all can focus on. Y'all can't sit here and feel sorry for me, and then that's affecting y'all doing that. This shows you the Sanders family mentality. No excuses, no distractions, just focus on what you can control. And for Shedeur, that means giving everything he has to this Browns opportunity without any additional external pressures. "You got to be some type of human at some point in the way how I'm doing everything and how I'm handling everything that's thrown at me," Shedeur said. "You got no choice but to applaud that." Here's what I love most about Shedeur's approach right now. He's not trying to be anyone other than himself. When asked what he might show in games that we don't see in practice, his response was perfect. "Have you watched me in college? Well, you know, a little bit of that going on. I'm still the same guy. Nothing happened to me. I'm the same guy. If anything, I'm a little bit stronger mentally, physically, emotionally, and how the way I handle different situations." That's not cockiness. That's knowing your identity and trusting your preparation. Shedeur Sanders has been performing under pressure his entire life. The bright lights, the big moments, the critical throws. This is his comfort zone point. One of the most impressive aspects of Shedeur's mindset is how he's handling all the external noise. Let's be honest, nobody's neutral on Sanders. People either love him or they're waiting for him to fail. But his approach to dealing with criticism is mature beyond his years. I always face adversity since growing up in each level. It always been something, Shedeur explained. You just know when you figure out how people come at you, and life is a cycle. It keeps repeating over and over. Then you understand what game this is or what they're doing. I can never feel less than. Nobody could ever make me mentally get out of position in the situation I am. This is the mindset of someone who's been battle-tested. Someone who understands that success brings criticism, that excellence attracts envy, and that the only way to silence doubters is through performance. I'm thankful for who I am. I'm thankful for who my dad is. I'm thankful for my family. And no one can make me feel bad about the blessing that I do have. What's interesting is how Shedeur approaches relationships and trust in this new environment. When asked if all the criticism makes it hard to trust people, his answer showed sophisticated emotional intelligence. Trust is a deep thing, but it's different levels of trust. Overall, it's a lot of people that you'll trust driving your car, but it's a lot of people that you wouldn't trust taking your kids somewhere or dropping your wife off at home. So it's different levels of trust overall. He continues, I start out neutral. It's a couple familiar faces I see out here, but others, not so much. But I don't have a problem with anybody. So I live life free. But then whenever it's negative, then it's like, all right, you done caused this now. But no, I stay neutral with everything. I treat everybody with utmost respect. This approach is going to serve him well in the NFL. Starting neutral, earning trust gradually, treating everyone with respect. That's how you build relationships in professional locker rooms. So why is Shedeur's decision to keep Deion away from camp so significant? Because it shows he understands something that most rookie quarterbacks never figure out. That earning respect in the NFL is about proving yourself when nobody's watching, not when the cameras are rolling. Why keeping his father away, Shedeur is forcing himself to stand on his own merit. He's removing any possibility that his teammates or coaches see him as Deion's son instead of as Shedeur Sanders, quarterback. He's eliminating distractions and creating an environment where his performance is the only thing that matters. This isn't about disrespecting his father or pushing him away. This is about a young man who understands that the greatest gift he can give his Hall of Fame father is proving that the name Sanders means excellence, regardless of which generation is wearing it. According to recent reports from NFL Network, Shedeur is expected to get significant preseason playing time, and he knows this is his moment. When asked about the opportunity, he said, I'm excited. I'll say overall, being able to be healthy to come to practice today and being able to go against actual defense and get live reps and everything. So I'm just thankful I prepare each day as such, and I stay focused throughout everything. So whenever it is my time to get out there, I'll be able to be myself. This preseason could be the launching pad for Shedeur's NFL career. If he can show in game situations what he's been showing in practice, the poise, the arm talent, the leadership, this four-way competition might not be as close as everyone thinks. Here's what's really happening in Cleveland right now. The Browns are watching a young quarterback handle pressure, adversity, and opportunity with a maturity level that's rare for rookies. They're seeing someone who's willing to make tough decisions for the good of the team, even when it means disappointing his Hall of Fame father. Shedeur Sanders isn't just trying to make the Browns roster. He's trying to prove that he belongs in the NFL conversation. And every decision he's making, from sitting out practice with arm soreness to keeping Deion away from camp, shows he understands the bigger picture. The NFL is about more than talent. It's about decision-making under pressure, leadership when things get tough, and the ability to put the team first even when it's difficult. Shedeur is showing all of those qualities right now. As we head into the final weeks of training camp and the preseason games that will determine roster spots, Shedeur Sanders has positioned himself perfectly. He's healthy, he's focused, he's earning respect from teammates and coaches, and he's eliminated all the external distractions that could derail his progress. The decision to keep Deion away isn't just about avoiding media circus. It's about a young quarterback taking ownership of his own destiny. It's about proving that Sanders' excellence isn't inherited, it's earned. And when Shedeur finally does make that phone call to his father after earning his spot on the Browns roster, that conversation is going to mean everything. Because it won't be about a few good throws in practice or potential that might never be realized. It'll be about a dream that became reality through hard work, smart decisions, and the courage to stand on his own. What do you think? Is Shedeur making the right call by keeping Deion away from camp? Or should family always come first regardless of the circumstances? And more importantly, do you think this level of maturity and strategic thinking is enough to win him a spot on the Browns roster? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single one. If you want to stay updated on all the latest Browns training camp news and see how this quarterback battle unfolds, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. We're going to be covering every twist and turn of this story because something tells me Shedeur Sanders is just getting started.